John 1:42. Et adduxit eum ad Iesum, intuitus autem eum Iesus, dixit, tu es Simon, filius Johanna, tu vocaberis Cephas, quod interpretatur Petrus. And he, we have to supply, that is Andrew, from our last verse, led him, that is his brother Simon, to Jesus. And autem loses its adversative sense here as often in the Vulgate and simply is an equivalent of et. And Jesus, having looked on or regarded him, said, here begins a quotation, "You are Simon, son of John," or Jonah, depending on which manuscript we choose to follow. "You," so we would understand in English maybe a semicolon here, kind of a pause. "You shall be called Cephas," which is translated Petrus, Peter. Adduxit here is simply the combination of ad, the preposition to or towards, plus duco, ducere, which is a verb that you know of the third conjugation. If you look down here, I've spelled out the principal parts for you so you can recognize them. Notice there's a long mark, a macron, indicating the U is a long vowel, and that's in fact where our accent goes. Adduco, adducere, adduxi, adductum. So Andrew led his brother, eum, accusative singular object of adduxit. He led him to Jesus, and now we're going to have a change of subject, Jesus intuitus. Now, this is a perfect passive participle formed from the second conjugation deponent verb, that is a verb that has passive forms but active meanings, intueor, intueri, intuitus sum. Here, this is functioning almost like the equivalent of a perfect active participle in Greek. But remember, we don't have those in Latin. But since this is a deponent verb, you can sort of get away with it, since the meaning of all of the forms of this verb, insofar as its deponent, are active, even though the form is passive. So the form here is that of a perfect passive participle, but the meaning is active, so it functions like an active perfect participle. Therefore, Jesus, having looked upon or regarded him, that is Simon, said, now we have a direct quotation, "You are Simon, the son of John." And again, John here is taken from Hebrew via Greek, so it doesn't decline like a normal Latin noun the way we would expect it to. Just don't let that bother you. We just sort of figure those things out from context. "The son of John, you will be called." Here we've got second person singular, future passive indicative. How do we form the future passive? Well, let's look up here. I've written out voco, vocare. That's our first conjugation verb in the future passive, okay? Vocabor, I shall be called. Vocaberis, you shall be called. Vocabitur, he, she, it shall be called. Vocabimur, we shall be called. Vocabimini, you all, plural, shall be called. And vocabuntur, they all shall be called. Notice the way that we form this. We've got our typical passive personal endings together with the infix be, which sometimes is transmuted to be, as here. Got a regular be here, or bu in the third person plural. And we've got a bit of that irregular first person form, or, vocabor. That's our distinctively future passive look right there. So, vocaberis, you shall be called Cephas, the rock, which when translated into Greek is Petros, which also means the rock.